Bonaire is an island municipality of the Netherlands. It lays just 50 miles off the coast of Venezuela in the southern Caribbean. The population is just 16,000. The island's 24 miles long and between 3 and 7 miles wide. This island tour will show you the highlights of the capital city, as well as looking at the rural areas. The salt production lakes are featured, as well as looking at some flamingos at the beautiful Goto Lake. That's coming up next.
Royal Caribbean Bank and Hero Bank. Those are the 5 banks that we have here on the island of Bonaire. This is the main shopping street. As you can pay attention, most of these buildings are 2 floors. That is the way it was constructed back in the past. The owners would sell their merchandise on the lower floor and they would live themselves on top. So that is the way it was back in the past. As we continue our journey, we'll also pass in front of a wonderful shopping mall. In a few moments, you will see it on your left hand side, this yellow building. We used to have a botica in there, but now they moved it. So anyone has any idea what a botica means? Botica? It's a pharmacy. We have a total of 4 pharmacies here on the island of Bonaire. And we have one at the hospital. The one from the city center also moved to the hospital. We have one in Rincon, which is the oldest village on the island. Also the cultural capital. And we have one in Montreal, which is the biggest neighborhood on the island also. So I mentioned about Bonaire. Bonaire counts 24,000 inhabitants. We only count 24,000 inhabitants on the island of Bonaire, and we speak 4 different languages. Most of us do. So we speak Papiamento, that sounds something like this. Bon tardi, bombini a bordo, mi number ta Roderick Beaumont, imita bo tour guide pa awe. Bo bus chauffeur ta des. Flying Bonaire, uninhibited, unspoiled, unforgettable, wide sandy beaches, perfect for snorkeling, swimming, diving, etc. So when you go there, you have to bring your own margaritas and drinks, and you know, I would also like to mention that here on the island of Bonaire we have 2 special traffic signs that you cannot find anywhere else in the world. There's the watch out for divers sign and a watch out for crossing donkey sign. I saw it already. So the watch out for divers sign is on your 4 right hand side, coming up right over there. Watch out for the divers sign. And there you have the Goto Lake straight ahead of us. It is a nesting place for the Caribbean flamingo because it is surrounded by these hills that offer the flamingo protection. So that is why they gather here together in big crowds and groups. Year round we have flamingos in the Goto Lake right over here.
So none of the equipment
So the mountain up there straight ahead is Brandaris. It's the tallest peak also on the island of Bonaire, with 248 meters above sea level, and it's located in the Washington National Park, the Brandaris. When we make our stop in Rincon, I'll hand out some island maps also to you guys. So this is the Goto Lake. The little island right in the middle of the lake is a private island. It is actually a farm. Right in the middle cannot swim. It can't, no. A flamingo is in the water and is only in the water where its feet can touch the ground. When the feet can't touch the ground, the flamingo is out of there. Otherwise, it would drown.
Oh my goodness.
So a flamingo eats by going with its head from left to right, and it's like filtering out the water, and what gets stuck, it is actually what it eats. A flamingo eats crabs and microorganisms, shrimp into the water, and it's because of its, you know, what it eats, it gets its pink color from. So when a flamingo is born in between Venezuela, Bonaire, and sometimes also Lac, which is another side of Bonaire on the south side, where you also have a lot of flamingos way up from. Lakes. You can see also salt foams over the banks, and in the distance you can see these salt crystal hills. A lot of salt, all owned by the Cargill Salt Company, which is a United States-based company. Prior to that, it used to be owned by the Axo Nobel, and prior to the Axo Nobel, it was a government property here on the island of Bonaire. So you may be wondering, how does it work, right? You want to know? So, back in the past, way back in the 1800s, the slave used to dug these out by hand. So it's about 30 centimeters of depth, these salt lakes right over here. They open up a hatch and let the water in. So when it fills in with water, they close the hatch and the sun will do the rest of the work. The sun will evaporate the seawater, just seawater, evaporate the seawater, and as the water evaporates, the concentration of the salt in this water becomes, you know, heavier. So you will get this bacteria that gives the water the color pink. So because of the high density of salt, the water becomes pink due to the formation of this bacteria in the water. So after about 5 months, it's completely dried up by the sun, and you would have this white surface.
So shown here are the slave huts. These huts were constructed in 1850 during the slavery time and served as camping facilities for slaves working in the salt ponds to collect and ship the salt. These huts were used as sleeping quarters and a place to put away personal belongings for the working team. Each Friday afternoon, the slaves walked 7 hours to the village of Rincon to weekend with their families, and they would return every Sunday for another 7-hour walk. Coming up on the right-hand side is a tall tower called a navigational obelisk, used by years ago by seamen to locate the area to pick up the salt. So that's a quick look at the island of Bonaire. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.